Okay, so this is this. Okay, so this is the story. Where am I? I don't see myself. I like to see myself. I'm going to spotlight for everyone and have you on the sides. Okay, so welcome. I'm very excited to be starting a new class for US time. It's something that I have considered for a long time, and this summer I became motivated. Teaching in Chautauqua was a good push, and then we started the 100-day challenge. So that really got me going. So, aside from the two classes that I teach on Israel time, which are really not going to work for anybody in the US, they would be in the middle of the night. This will be a time that will hopefully stick to Wednesdays, and that would be 10 o'clock Eastern time, and whatever it is in Salt Lake, in New Jersey, it should be Eastern time. Brooklyn is Eastern time. Kentucky, I think, is Eastern time. But I'm hoping that there'll be somebody from the West Coast also, because we had somebody this summer in the West Coast who really wanted to join in. And I haven't heard from her, but I'm hopeful over the next couple of weeks we'll get it together. So usually, often in the summertime, I teach outside, but it's really hot today. So I decided that I'm going to teach where I teach in the study, in my study, and we're going to get started. I'm going to give a short introduction once we start moving, but we're going to start first with moving, and usually what I do is I talk as we go along. Now, let me just give by a couple things I want to say. You should be dressed comfortably. You can do this indoors. Outdoors is great. If you have any opportunity to do this outdoors, by all means, go outside and do it. What should you be wearing on your feet? Whatever's comfortable for your feet. Some people like to do it barefoot, and some people like to do it in flat shoes. Some people have feet issues. I'm having a foot issue now, so I'm doing it in real sneakers, but do it in whatever's appropriate, whatever feels right. And this is also a really good time to say that make sure that whatever you're doing feels good to you. You shouldn't ever leave Qigong and say, ooh, that hurt, or that was too much, or I didn't feel good to my body. If we're doing something that doesn't sit right with you, so do something else, adapt it, change it. You can always ask me, but the most important thing is to listen to your body. Okay, so that means you can do Qigong sitting down, you could do Qigong standing up. Most of the time I'll do it standing up. Sometimes I sit down because my knees get tired, or just to show you that in fact you can do it just as well sitting. So if you have knee issues or feet issues or trouble standing, no worries at all. And without further ado, we are going to get started. So you see me in my study, in my home. Fix the carpet, and the shades are down because it really is a hot day today. I've got loads of water nearby. We want to see my head, I think. What happens is you won't get to see my whole body this way. And I need my cell phone for that. And my cell phone is charging. So we're on the home computer, which has its advantages. And one of the advantages, you actually see, well, you see half my head and half of my feet. So I'm going to give you a little more head, a little less feet. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is pay attention to our stance, the Qigong stance. Now, let me just say a word of introduction. Qigong is a very ancient practice. It's based on the principles of traditional Chinese medicine, which means that it pays attention to meridians that I'm going to show you. Those of you who know what meridians are, great. For those of you who don't, this is a diagram with all these lines running up and down. Those are meridians. And what happens on these meridians is the qi flows. What is qi? It's the life force. And what we want to do is encourage the flow of the life force. Really for me, what Qigong is it's a movement practice that combines both movement and breathing. It's slow, it's meditative, it's wonderful for stress reduction. It helps me slow down and ground and also move a little bit. So all good. So how are we going to stand? The first thing is our feet. We want our feet to be parallel. We want the outsides of the feet to be parallel, not the inside. Some of us have funny shaped feet, and that means when we have the outsides parallel, we're going to feel a little pigeon-toed, and that is just fine because we want to have a little bit of a rotation of the hips inward. So feet parallel, weight evenly distributed, about shoulder width. So you can see I'm about shoulder width. Knees slightly bent. Don't want to have your knees locked. Never, never, never. You can have them bent like this or bent even more, whatever's comfortable. But you want to have your knees slightly bent, and that helps you sink in to your pelvis. And the other thing that will help you sink in is if you tuck your tailbone. I'm exaggerating a little bit here. I'm going to tuck my tailbone. That's definitely an exaggeration, but that's the idea. You get the idea. You want to kind of pull that in and sink in and down. Okay, so we want to ground ourselves, feel very much rooted. And then we're going to move up to the middle. And I want you to think about having quail's eggs in your underarms, okay? Not chicken eggs, quail's eggs. You know how big quail's eggs are? They're little. So just imagine that you have little quail's eggs in your underarms so that your hands are slightly removed from your body. This allows the chi to flow. Your shoulders are down, your chin is slightly tucked, and your head, the crown of your head, called in Chinese the bai hui, is pulled up as if by a string. Okay, so we have, let's just review one more time. Feet parallel, knees slightly bent, tailbone tucked, arms with our quail's eggs, shoulders down, chin, head pulled up. And we're going to stand here for a moment and just take a few breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just notice how your body feels in this position. Just notice. See if you can feel your feet sending roots down to the center of the earth and pulling up the chi as we breathe in and out. And now we're going to put one hand over the other on the lower dantian. The lower dantian is the lower energy center. In Qigong, there are 3 energy centers. We'll talk about them as we move along. But right now, we're just going to put our hands over the lower dantian, it's called. And the lower dantian, you can find it. It's about 3 centimeters. That's about 2 inches below your belly button. And maybe a third of the way in. It's not smack in the middle of your body, but it's a little bit, that's where we imagine it to be, kind of inside there. And what I like to imagine is a golden ball, a ball of chi, a ball of energy. And let's just breathe into that. Inhale. Exhale, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one more time, breathing in and out. You can leave your eyes open or closed, whatever feels comfortable, and allow a smile to come up to your lips. And notice how your body feels. Okay. And now we're going to begin to just slowly move. We're going to move, bringing up the energy and focus on our legs. Our legs are what are propelling this movement. The movement is initiated in our legs, governed by the waist. The waist begins to move. And then the hands are simply accessories. They're kind of like just going along with the flow. Movement coming from the legs. Feel one forward, the other backward. And don't forget to breathe naturally. Just enjoy the movement. Enjoy the feeling of your body unfolding. This is very often done as an opening warm-up. That's what we're going to be doing first, is a warm-up. And now we can become a little bit more vigorous with our hands, tapping our kidneys and our internal organs, giving them like a little bit of a wake up. It's going to be interesting for me doing Qigong at 5 in the afternoon, because obviously I've been awake for quite a while. But for you folks, some of you are just waking up, some of you have been up for a while. And now we're going to tap on our chest, our lungs. It should all feel pretty good. There's something that doesn't feel good or doesn't feel right. So try to adapt it. Do something else. And now over your shoulders. Over your shoulders. And back down to your chest. And waist, kidneys. And now let's just slow it down. One of the things I like to do here is just make circles. Circles of chi on the water. Just imagine drawing circles. Now, when I talk about chi, you might think I'm a little crazy. You might say, I don't know what chi is. I'm not feeling anything. And what I say is just go with the flow. One of these days, you will probably feel something. Sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes people feel it right away. Some people describe it as tingling in the fingers or warmth. But if you're not feeling anything, don't worry. First of all, you can imagine. And second of all, you don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter. Okay. And now we're going to gather the chi, gather the energy, and bring it down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And again, let's let our hands rest on the lower dantian. Take 3 breaths. And now we're going to move into what I consider in my mind, the formal warm-up. We're going to do a warm-up in 10 circles. Not exactly sure how these 10 circles get counted, but the notion is that you'll see. I'm not going to talk too much. We're going to do it. So we're going to start with hands on our waists. And I want you to pay attention to your feet. We're going to be shifting the weight on our feet. Shift the weight to your heels and then to the left side of each foot, to the toes, to the right side, back to the heels. You see, we've made a circle, and we're going to do 2 more circles in this direction, shifting the weight slowly. Back to the heels, and now we're going to move in the other direction. So we're going to move first to the right side, toes, left, back, right, toes, left, back. One more time. Okay, and let's move forward to our toes and back to the heels, rocking a little bit. One of the things, there are a lot of benefits of Qigong, and some of them are even evidence-based. One of the benefits that I personally have experienced, that is actually written about quite a bit in the literature, is stability. As we grow older, very often we lose that feeling of stability. And because of all the back and forth and the motions that we're doing, the foot becomes a really wonderful anchor, and stability is greatly improved. Okay, now we are going to put our feet together and rub our knees. See if you can move your kneecaps. See, we're going to circle with the knees if it's comfortable for you. And now let's take a wide stance. In Qigong, it's called a horse stance. Hands back to the waist or hips, and we're going to circle from the hips. Exhaling forward, inhaling as we go back. And in the other direction. Now we're bringing the feet back to shoulder width, hands on your waist. And now we're going to do the same thing from the waist. So we're going to go forward. Inhaling back, exhaling forward, and now let's go in the other direction. One of the things you might notice is that we are synchronizing the breath with the movement. That is one of the principles of Qigong, the synchronization of breath with movement. And we try to pay attention to that with most of the movements that we're doing. Every once in a while, I'll say breathe naturally, normally. But if I direct how to breathe, that's one of the things that will slow us down and we want to pay attention to. So now make fists of your hands. Put those fists on your chest. And this gives you a reminder that what we're moving here is not our shoulders, not our body. We're just going to move now our neck. And we're going to bend forward. Inhale as we move to one shoulder. Make sure you keep your shoulders down. You don't want your shoulder up. You want your shoulder down. And you'll feel probably a nice stretch here. And we're going to inhale here. And then exhale as we make a half circle to the other side. Ear to the shoulder. Don't overstretch. Do what feels comfortable. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now we want to say good morning or good afternoon, as the case may be. Good to see you here. Glad you joined us. And we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And you'll notice that each side is a little different. Okay. And now we're going to do what I call Tarzan. We're waking up our immune system. You can use fists. You can use the flat of your hand. You can use fingertips, whatever feels good to you. And we're opening up a lot of different acupressure points, helping the chi flow smoothly. And now we're gonna pat down the arms, up the arms, down on the inside, up on the outside. Down, up, and on the other side, down and up, and down and up, down and up. And now we are going to wake up our kidneys. We're going to wake them up and help them. Wake them up. The kidneys, according to the Chinese, are the batteries of our bodies. They keep us going, give us vitality. So we like that. Now we're going to tap down and up and down and up and down. And up. Now we're going to bounce on you can bounce on you have two choices here. You can either bounce on your heels and shake, or you can plant your feet in the ground and shake. See what you like better. And of course, if you're feeling embarrassed, well, first of all, know that nobody's watching you. But the second thing is just close your eyes, and then for sure nobody's watching you. Just shake it out. We're going to shake for about somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds. Get the chi going. Get rid of all the old chi, the old energy that we don't need, maybe stuck in our bodies. Just shake it out and stop. Now you may be able to feel the chi flowing. Okay, now what I'm going to ask you to do is find something that you can hold on to. It might be the back of the chair that's not on wheels. This chair's on wheels, so we don't want to do that. But if you have a chair nearby, you may want to hold on to that. You might have a bookcase or a wall. You want to have something nearby you can hold on to if necessary. We're going to stand on one foot, and you may be fine without it. I can't really see you, but I want you, at least the first time you do this, to have something close by to steady yourself. And for some people, even just putting one finger on that shelf is enough. So what we're going to do is pick up one foot and we're going to circle. You can see my foot. Circle in one direction. And circle in the other direction. 3 times, up and down, side to side. And put the foot down. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can certainly hold on to the back of a chair and do that as well. And sometimes it's just a matter of steadying yourself for the first, as you get into the position. As you do this, you'll notice some days are better than others. Some days you're steadier than others. Some days your stability is a little off. It's okay, but this is one of the very good exercises to build stability as well. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to just see if having a light in here, I'm kind of working on, it's afternoon light by me, and I don't usually teach at this time, so I don't really have it down pat. So we'll see how this works. I put the light on. Let's see if it's too much light. A little bit light, huh? Maybe we're going to do some Qigong for the face now. And I sit down usually when I do this. You can continue standing. It's not a problem. But if you need to take a break, this is a great time to take a break. And this is always a good time for me to see who's here. So it's good to see. I have some Israeli friends here too. I'm so used to teaching in Hebrew and English. It's actually so nice to teach in one language. So what we're doing is we're building up the chi in our hands. We're warming them up. And what we're going to do is wash our face in chi. Just give ourselves a nice chi bath. We're gonna work the temples, and we're gonna press on the bridge of our nose. Every place we press, we're gonna use our fingers, and we're gonna press and circle. Press and circle. We forgot the third eye. I always like to open that up. Use all the intuition. And now we're going to circle the orbit of the eye. Okay, now this should feel interesting. It should feel pretty good, actually. We're going to just pick a few spots every couple centimeters. Go around maybe 10 spots in all. We'll do it again a second time. Around. And all of these are acupressure points that are parts of various meridians. I'm not a big expert in those meridians, but I know it's good to wake them up. And now by the nostrils. And the idea with Qigong is we want the Qi to flow smoothly. The theory being that when Qi gets stuck, that's where disease happens. Try to the mouth. Under the mouth. Behind the ears. This should feel pretty good. If there's something that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Now we have 2 pincers, 2 fingers, and we're gonna rub all around the ears. The ears have tons of acupressure points, and rubbing them really opens them all. Wonderful. Now we're gonna massage our necks. That should feel pretty good. And we're going to put our hands on the back of our head, take our thumbs, and press where the skull kind of is inserted on the neck. I don't even know how to say that, but you see that bony ridge? Do you feel that bony ridge? You want to just kind of dig in there with your thumbs and find some nice spots and circle. It should feel pretty good. We often store quite a bit of tension there. This releases that tension. Now what we're going to do is take our fingers and comb our hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you have a hairdo that you don't want to mess up, you just went to the hairdresser, or if you're wearing a hat, you don't want to take it off, you can just tap, okay? But me, I love to comb. This is one of my favorite things to do. I'm sure, I always say this, I'm sure I was a dog in a previous incarnation because I just love this. It's so good. One more time. And we're going to do something now called the heavenly drum. Put your hands over your ears and tap on the back of your head. You won't hear me, but count to yourself 28 times the heavenly drum. Now we're going to give ourselves a big pat on the back for showing up. Great job. You came, you showed up. Other side. You came, you showed up. And that is our warm-up. Now, usually the warm-up takes less time than this. We did it really slowly today, and that is fine because we are beginning. What we're going to do now is we're going to stand up and take a few breaths. One hand over the other. I think it's better without. Whoa, now it's really dark, huh? Not so good. Let's see if we can get the light a little bit better. There. One hand over the other on the lower dantian, and we're going to take 3 breaths again. In, out. Just notice how your body feels. We're going to move into now, I'm going to teach a few things. We're going to teach one exercise that's a real take-home exercise, something that you can do every single day really easily. And it's called pushing the heavens. We're going to inhale, hands float up. Push. You don't see the push here. Let's put the computer back. And you'll be able to see the push. So the hands float up, palms up, pushing the heavens. And this is all on the inhale. And then on the exhale, float them down. And again, inhale, palms up, pushing the heavens down. Let's just do a few more times, making sure that the breath leads the hands. The hands, when I say the hands float up, what I mean is that we're we're not thinking, oh, I gotta move the hands. That's like calisthenics. We're not doing calisthenics, we're doing Qigong. So we're gonna breathe in and imagine the hands just floating up on the in-breath. Palms turning towards the heavens and pushing. And on the exhale, they just float down almost all by themselves without any effort. And the slower we do this, the more likely we are to feel the qi and to experience the difference between Qigong and calisthenics or exercises. You can do this as many times as you want. What I would suggest is this week, just take a break in the middle of the day, a couple of minutes of this. If you want to get fancy, you can add a twist. Lift the hands up here, come back to center, bring them down. Hands float up, bring it back, bring it down. Back to the lower dantian, which is always kind of our transitional pose. Taking a few breaths. And I'm thinking that what we should do, I really would like to do one series with you, which means we're going to run, let's see, it's 22, we're going to run at least for 10 and maybe another 15 minutes, and I hope that's okay with you. We got to get the feel of the class. So what we're going to do is what's called the 5-element practice, and a lot of Chinese medicine is based on these 5 elements. We can talk volumes about this, and we will over time. But today I want to practice with you. So we're going to mention what the 5 elements are, and we're going to learn some of them. We're going to start with the earth element. Just to mention what they are, there's metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. And there's an entire system of what feeds what and what helps what nourishes which one blocks. We're not going to get into all that. What we're going to do is we're going to actually just learn some elements that are related to these elements and related to the organ systems associated with the elements, and just begin, very beginning understanding. So we're going to start with the earth element. Usually when I do this series, the earth is last, but because earth is associated with end of summer, beginning of fall, and that's where we are, we're going to start with the earth. And this is the way it goes. Watch me first. My hands are on my abdomen, and I'm going to breathe in. And then as I gather in the qi, I breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You might notice that you're rocking on your feet. Inhale, as you inhale, you're moving, shifting the weight to your toes. As you exhale, the weight is shifting to your heels. You can notice is that as you inhale, your chest is opening and your lower back is opening. As you exhale, you're rounding your chest and rounding your lower back. These are manifestations of yin and yang, which we'll get into at a later date. Yang is the inhale, the opening. Yin is the closing, the ingathering. And the earth element is associated with the stomach and the spleen. And of course, it's related to grounding and feeling rooted in the ground, as well as the digestion. And this exercise is really a very calming exercise, I would say. If you're feeling anxious, this is the go-to. This is the one to do. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. All of the elements have emotions associated with them as well. We'll get into that at a later date. They also have healing sounds. For now, it's enough just to inhale, gather. One more time. And we're going to stand with the brown, yellow chi. It's really yellow. The yellow chi of the earth element. Just stand with it, taking a few breaths in and out. You can imagine the yellow energy of the earth element. And from there, we're going to move on to metal. Metal goes like this. Hands float up on the inhale and open. And on the exhale, rounding of the chest again, rounding of the lower back. Inhale. Notice that the weight shifts to your toes. Exhale. And again, with all of these movements, the breath is leading. The hands just follow. They're expressions of the breath. You want to do this around chest level, okay? You want your hands to float up about chest level, not too high, because this is related to the lung meridian. And we're opening the lung meridians, encouraging them to flow. More time. And now we'll stand with the white chi of the metal element in front of our lungs. Just breathing in beautiful white chi. And the next element is water. Water is related to the kidneys, and this is how it goes. Exhale. Inhale, hands float up just to kidney level. Not up here, not up here. You want them to be right about here where your kidneys are in your middle back. Exhale, weight shifts to the heels. Inhale, weight shifts to the toes. Exhale. And when I say that the weight shifts, you might feel it very subtly. It might be a subtle movement. Stand with the blue chi. The water element is related to the kidneys and the bladder. It's a little hard to stand like this, so we're going to stand opposite the kidneys and breathe in the blue chi of the water element, which is the winter season, which suits Israel actually. Doesn't suit most of the places where you are. So there's two more elements that we're not going to learn today, and that is fire and wood. We'll save them for next week. And what you can do over this next week is practice these three elements. I will provide this tape for you of the Zoom class so you can review. And we're gonna gather the chi, bring it down, and again, gather, bring it down. One at a time. Gather all the beautiful, fresh energy in nature or wherever you are. And just let it shower down upon you. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. One hand over the other on the lower dantian. And as we reach the end of the class, I'm going to leave some time for questions and answers after we conclude the exercises and a couple of technical points. But at this moment, let's just focus on the feelings of the chi reaching every single cell in our body, bringing healing, vitality, bringing joy, bringing hope, bringing peace. Just enjoy that wonderful, wonderful feeling. Knowing that you've done something really good for your bodies. And we're going to end with the balancing exercise. The balancing exercise, we open up the palm of our hand and put it right where that dantian is. And we're going to gather the chi on the inhale and come right down the midline. And the reason I call it the balancing exercise, now we're going to do it on the other side, coming right down the midline, because what we're doing is we're aligning 3 energy centers. Remember, I told you at the beginning that the lower dantian is just 1 energy center, and that is the physical. The middle dantian, where our heart region is called the middle dantian and represents the emotions, and the upper dantian, which is up here somewhere, represents the consciousness and spirit. So we're aligning all parts of ourselves. All of us have mind, body, spirit. And if anything got a little bit out of line, this is a chance for it to line up. And even if it didn't, it's really a wonderful way just to end the class. And one more time, inhale and exhale. Thank you very much. And what I'd like to do now is really set aside several minutes for questions and answers. Since this is the first time that we're doing this class, what I'm going to do is take myself off of Spotlight. And I'm going to also stop the recording so you can all feel totally comfortable. Yes, I want to stop